Bowser versus Dr. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik. Who would win? Well, personally, I do think it's Bowser. Oh, hey, no booing at me. I know that, Sonic is portrayed as, very strong, and, this very fast force that can not be defeated by, well, it's not that he can't be defeated, but he's just very, very strong. In my opinion, and to others too, I do think Bowser has this, especially if we consider his armies like Death Battle did. Now, my opinions on Death Battle are a little mixed. They have gotten some stuff wrong in the past, some calcs wrong, and all that when they're putting, which sometimes is a little hard considering you have to put two fictional characters from different franchises against each other, which is a little difficult when some characters don't have really feats that could quantify. I mean, there are a lot of characters that they'll say, oh, they can do this and that, but then they never prove it. But then there are some characters that can do all these absurd things, and then they get hurt by stuff like bullets. And then everyone's like confused because they're like, why would he get hurt by a gun? But then he can destroy a universe. Those are good questions. But I think my answer to Bowser versus Eggman is just a confusing rabbit hole that you could honestly put any side, but more than not, I think Bowser has this. Now, first, the news. I've been watching Dragon Ball Daima, and I think it's pretty cool how it's changing the Dragon Ball franchise and giving it more of a spin, giving it more lore and giving it more, stuff in the universe of Dragon Ball that we can get, accustomed to. And I know that a lot of people are on board with it, but personally, I do hope that more Dragon Ball, while not exactly like Daima because we know how GT went, that they at least at first do Daima, but then they can switch it to something else. And personally, I hope that is the case. Now back to Bowser vs. Eggman. Now, we both know these iconic villains, Bowser and Eggman. These are the two most iconic villains of all time. You could ask anybody and they probably know who these characters are. We all know Bowser, the Koopa King who kidnaps the princess and wants to take over the Mushroom Kingdom, and we have Dr. Eggman, the mad scientist that wants to take over the world and make Eggman land, and whatever else he probably is gonna do on Tuesday to Wednesday, like, I don't know, destroy space and time because stuff. He's an evil guy. We gotta appreciate the evilness this guy, radiates off of his being. Anyways, these two are strong in their own rights. Now, I wouldn't have to say this to anybody. I could say this to your grandma. I could show them a picture of these two guys, and I could say, Eggman without his mech, and Bowser without any of his army, and they had to duke it out. Not a contest. Bowser's whooping Eggman's ass. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Eggman is a regular guy. Like, he has some good feats. He can survive explosions, gigantic ones, and he can literally move at supersonic speeds. But that just does not compare to Bowser, like, in any way. Like, this guy survives black holes, like, and survives a supernova exploding on him. Like, what's Eggman gonna do? Punch him in the face? Bro, Bowser's just gonna eat him alive. Now, the thing that makes Eggman so powerful is, would you guessed it, his mechs and his robots. Because without them, he would literally stand no chance against Sonic. Like, do you seriously believe that Eggman would be able to fight Sonic if he did not have any of his mechs or his armors? No, Sonic would literally blitz him and beat the crap out of Eggman while taunting him. Which is something he usually already does, but you get the point. It would happen much quicker. There would be no game. But, like I said, Bowser, in comparison to Eggman, has many, many things that are beneficial to Bowser. For one, Bowser has much more utility in his arsenal in comparison to Eggman. Because, think of it like this, Bowser is a one-man army. He by himself can do many things that Eggman needs his strongest mechs to do. Now, in comparison to Eggman, if he loses certain mechs, he loses that mech for the fight, and he can't get it back. He has to take time to rebuild that thing. Bowser, if he doesn't die, he can come back from the dead, and can even, he can breathe fire, he can, make clones, he can do all these other absurd things. So, Eggman by himself doesn't really stand a chance. But when we factor in their armies, like Death Battle did, that's where things get much more interesting. Because Eggman with his armies has some very, very good feats on his hand. Because Metal Sonic is very strong too. I mean, Metal Sonic was literally designed to be Sonic's rival. Well, not his rival, but more of a enemy rival. Like his, his second, the second big bad that Sonic has to fight once in a while. And nowadays, they kind of just waste him a little. And I wish they kind of made him scary. Like, Metal Sonic used to be very terrifying as a concept. And they executed it very well in the first game of Sonic's... Well, not the first game of Sonic, but Sonic CD. It was very cool. But nowadays, they kind of just... I just don't really get terrified of Metal Sonic anymore. Though that could be because I'm much older now. I mean, there's a lot of factors to that. But Bowser, with his army, has many things too. Now let's go over some of those things. Firstly, Bowser has superhuman strength, has immensely durable. The dude can survive a lot of things. He has some dark magic abilities. He can breathe fire. He can enlarge his body to kaiju sizes. He can, pretty much, the only reason why he usually loses to Mario is because Bowser's kind of an idiot sometimes. Yeah, I do. Like, he's not a complete dummy sometimes. It just depends on the game. Sometimes he's smart, sort of, but then other times he's just an absolute Nimrod. Like, it just depends. But other than that, I don't think he's a complete dunce. I just think he's very, very, very not that well informed about some things. I mean, the dude can easily be tricked. But then again, the Mushroom Kingdom's inhabitants are kind of stupid too, so Bowser falling for tricks that Mario also falls to, not really that complicated to figure out why Mario wins all the time, considering Bowser's intellect. But Eggman, he makes robots for a living, and he's very intelligent in and of himself. So Eggman is absolutely... His smarts is absolutely crazy. Smarts isn't everything. Just because you're immensely intelligent doesn't mean you can beat someone in a fight. I mean, someone could be as dumb as a caveman and have superhuman strength, and you can be a normal person and want to fight them as just a normal guy with just super intelligence. I mean, it's not really going to go well for you. It's going to go well for the caveman, but not for you. Doesn't matter that you're billions of times smarter than that caveman if that caveman can just punch you once and you're literally done and down for the count. Eggman also has some other things too. He has the Chaos Emeralds, which he can use to power up his robots. He also has other things like his mechs, like the Death Egg robot and, the Death Egg and all these other, robots and mechs that he has. The problem with some of Eggman's stuff is that he has to go into, he has to switch between mechs, which is very complicated to do. Like I said before, Bowser does not have to do any of those things. Like, yeah, he can't access certain power-ups without some power-up items, but in comparison to literally having to go to different mechs to fight somebody, it's not like Tony Stark where he has one suit that's upgraded, and that's the suit that he uses. Eggman literally has multiple mechs that he has for different situations, but he has to go to those mechs, which is going to be very hard to do in a battle royale where he's literally fighting a guy that's so difficult to kill, and even if you do kill him, he can come back from the dead. That's very, very difficult. I mean, it's very challenging. There's things I want to debunk about some of people's complaints about Eggman and Bowser. The things I find very stupid, like Some people are saying that Eggman's mechs are much faster than Bowser and stuff, and that's not true at all, because Bowser, while not running as fast as Sonic, can react to things exactly Sonic's speeds, even beyond that. They both have, the same speed categories. I know not everyone's a, power scaler and all that other stuff, and that they don't know, immeasurable speeds, and to give you a quick summary, if you can move beyond linear time, you either have infinite or immeasurable speed. I know that one of them is even faster than that. It doesn't really matter because both of them have that same level of speed. Not in running, mind you, but in, reacting to attacks and all this other stuff. Bowser is not getting blitzed by Metal Sonic anytime soon. They have the same speed. I know it sounds weird that, the guy modeled after Sonic is somehow still as fat, not blitzing a giant turtle man that moves slower than a turtle sometimes, but, that's just how it is. It's a video game, and get over it, because I didn't make the game, so you can't get mad at me for any of that stuff. Bowser has also many things that are even more busted. I mean, he has magic and all this other stuff, and he can literally turn things into whatever he wants, so you can just turn Eggman into a block or something, or just turn him into a Goomba. Yeah, it's not really looking good for Eggman. I mean, Eggman has some other stuff that can work to defeat Bowser too, but in comparison, Bowser just has too many options. I mean, he's difficult to kill. You can't kill him that easily, like I said before. And even if you do kill him, he can be resurrected. He can turn his own Goombas into himself. Like, yeah, he can turn you into exact replicas of himself with his same strengths. So then you would have like 1,000,000 Bowsers going after Eggman with his exact strengths with no detriments whatsoever. Like, what is Eggman gonna do to that? He can't create, even if he created a bunch of Eggmans, that's not really impressive. Eggman does not have good physical stats. So him creating multiple Eggmans is just gonna be a detriment to himself. If he created plenty of Metal Sonics, that would be, a good strategy, but he's never been shown to do that at all. Yeah, that's it's just pretty much not looking good for Eggman, like I've said, like for the third time this video. The thing that also destroys Eggman is that he gets betrayed a lot. And for obvious reasons. I mean, to put it simply, Eggman is sometimes very stupid when it comes to literally making people want to join his side. Even when at first he convinces them to join his side, he proves time and time again he will belittle them even while they're on his side. And sooner or later, they're just going to be like, hey, I don't like this guy insulting me and just thinking me as just bait to be used, so I'm just gonna betray him and leave. Whereas Bowser, he has barely been betrayed ever, because for one, he rarely joins anyone's side, and when he does join Mario never betrays Bowser, and Bowser never betrays Mario when they're on the same team. So it's pretty much they do not betray each other, and betraying does not equal him going back to his evil ways. Mario knows that. They're just looking to defeat a bigger bad or a bigger threat, so then they can just get back to their usual shtick of Bowser kidnaps Peach, Mario goes after Peach, Mario beats Bowser, saves Peach, rinse and repeat. It's just like a Tuesday tea party little girls have with their play dolls. It's just a thing that happens all the time. Just nothing too serious. Whereas Eggman, nobody really likes him. The only people that like him are like 2 people, and they're literally robots. And other than that, nobody ever likes him. Because literally, what is there to like about him? And I'm talking about in universe. I'm not saying people outside like us clearly like Eggman because he's pretty funny. But like in universe, nobody likes him. Whereas in the Mushroom Kingdom, there are people who like Bowser a lot. Like his whole army respects him to a fault. Like, and Bowser is a pretty chill guy when he's not doing anything sinister, so that's another thing that is very, very easy to want to join Bowser's side, considering that if Eggman's robots literally see how nice Bowser is to his army, they're probably just going to be like, you know what? I don't want to be with Eggman anymore. I'm just going to join Bowser's side. I mean, he's a massive, you know, he's pretty much just a jerk to us. He just disposes of us like trash, and then he gets mad and beats us up when we don't do what he wants. Yeah, I think I'll join the turtle man that actually respects his, you know, army and actually treats them with respect and would be willing to sacrifice himself to save their lives, than a guy that literally just doesn't care for us at all and only sees us as tools. You know, I think I'd rather join Bowser, because even though Bowser has a temper, his temper is usually quelled very fast. So all I really have to say about, you know, Bowser versus Eggman, like I said before, I do think that Bowser wins. Not that Eggman can't win, but more often than not, I think Bowser wins the fight, especially if we consider his entire army, because Bowser just has too many other things that benefit him that Eggman can't counter for. Like I said before, he could turn all of Eggman's robots into just blocks, and they wouldn't be able to transform back. So it's kind of a one-sided fight, unless Eggman instantly pulls out some insta-win button that he usually has, but Bowser also has, so it's kind of a no contest. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to, you know, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you could never miss another video, I hope to see you again soon, and see you next time on Let's Talk Franchises. Bye.